everyone, welcome back to another video. It's finally time. I've finally got a pair of goggles and a pair of controllers so I can fly manual mode or FPV mode with the DJI NEO. Sure, I've definitely got a lot of room to improve, but I can now do the basics. But with that said, let's go back to that original NEO video where I mentioned flying full manual. This was over 3 months ago now, and pretty much right after that video, I ordered the controller and goggles. As soon as the controller arrived, I was looking up tutorials and found I should get a simulator, so I ended up going with DRL. Probably a good thing the goggles didn't arrive first, as this allowed me to crank out about 10 hours in the simulator before even trying to fly the NEO manual mode. When they finally did arrive, I decided to bike out a little ways to find a frozen over lake, in order to hopefully have enough space to learn with the NEO. At least that was the plan. Downside was that it was below freezing, and somehow when I went to put the NEO into manual for the first time, it got stuck flying sideways and went directly into the snow. Well, I found it. So it crashed because of a glitch, I'm pretty sure. Like, I went to take it off and it just flew sideways and I couldn't do anything. Happened. But thankfully, this thing has a beep button right here. Yeah, not really the greatest start. I didn't even get to actually fly. But after that, I was able to recover it, and thanks to arming the controller so that it was beeping, I was able to go again. The next flight was much better, as I was actually able to fly the NEO and understand its capabilities a little better. Very quickly, I found that it does not like to have high throttle output that the simulator drones all have, and that it would essentially freak out after pulling up from a steeper dive or even doing a flip. As I gained more confidence with the NEO, the close calls also went up. This one pretty bad, but a lucky save, and then near the end of my first flying session, I totally hit a tree and got stuck about 20 to 30 feet. Yeah, that was not super fun, and very much less than ideal, and took a while to get down. I've got to find a way to get it down. I don't even know if you see it. That's right. Yeah, not good. That's a hard tree to climb, so... well, it was fun, and now I've got to get it back. Thought snowballs would be an option, but it just breaks. Let's freaking go. I got it down with this water bottle. Looks like some moss got stuck in there. Hopefully it being wet isn't too big of an issue. Look at that. I just put it on droney. Well, it's... No, don't get wet. No, don't land, don't land, don't land, don't land. Ah, yes. Well, at least I know it flies. Either way, I was pretty happy with those first flights, even if there were a couple crashes, and my hands got really cold. That feeling with the first flight, seeing myself on the ground from above with the goggles on, was just something I'd never really felt before, and honestly, it couldn't really have been prepared for it. It was amazing. After this, I ended up spending a lot more time in the simulator because I realized I probably should, and it was actually pretty fun. And then I would also go fly the NEO when I could. Crashing was definitely not uncommon, but due to the snow, most weren't bad. At least that was until I hit a tree pretty much head on, and boom, the NEO frame started breaking. What was so lame about that crash is it was pretty much me just looking at the tree, and like if you're driving a car and look at an object, you're gonna go right into it. That was pretty embarrassing. Oh, my hands are kind of cold. Yeah, it shattered that. Propeller gone. That. I ended up just using some tape and replacing the prop, and it was good to fly again. But this did prompt me to also try some propped guards, which I ended up ditching pretty quickly after they would break from minor hits and didn't really prevent the props from breaking in the first place. Granted, I did print it out of PLA, flexible probably would have been a lot more useful, but still, like this crash demonstrates pretty well, I barely snagged a tree and still managed to break the prop, which I originally thought was good because it continued flying, but then all of a sudden, not so good. I couldn't throttle up. Hence this weird landing. Afterwards, it wasn't long until the frame started getting even worse after barely snagging a branch and then getting flung to the ground. Alright, so here's the NEO. Yeah, this is the issue.
Even worse than that, though, is ironically when I was recording a day in the life video in Alaska. I went around a building, lost signal, and as I was trying to gain signal, I was flying up and hit a tree, which really broke the one side as it slammed into the concrete beneath it. Honestly, I didn't really expect it to fly again after that, but with super glue and tape it still worked, which if you go watch that video, you'll see that it was kind of surprising. At this point, I was finally starting to get a little more apprehensive around flying in trees, as I was going through props a little too quickly. So I started flying in more open areas and then even got my team to be okay with some running/ski footage. Annoyingly, during a ski race that they thought would be pretty cool footage, I totally forgot to record. But I did get some cool footage of snowballs flying at the drone due to some of my teammates. I then headed down to Anchorage where I was going to do a 5K, but on the way down, I wanted to fly around a mountain, but ran into an issue with the wind, so I didn't end up getting that much out of those shots, which is a little unfortunate, but yeah, that's what happens. The nice thing, though, is that I was finally crashing less and completing fights both due to less tree flying and understanding the NEO limits and just getting better at FPV in general. I even ended up going back to that mountain, which got really lucky and it wasn't very windy, and then when I summited, I was able to get some cool shots near the top. So yeah, that was really cool. And then additionally, recently, I even tried flying the NEO in manual mode inside a home, which is definitely a little nerve-wracking as it really requires slower, precise movements, but it ended up working, so that's nice. Well, anyways, that's been my overall experience with the DJI NEO. Definitely ups and downs, but for those looking to get into FPV, I honestly think this is a pretty good choice as it's fairly forgiving and you can get DJI Care Refresh, which I haven't used quite yet, but as you can tell by the drone's current condition, I definitely intend to. Honestly, I'm just surprised my Neo still flies in the first place. That said, there are definitely downsides I've noticed, the biggest being the throttle output is just so low before it freaks out. Although, again, that seems to be also a plus because it's using lithium ion batteries, which give it the benefit of having longer flight times. I've usually been getting around 5 to 6 minutes in the cold, which I guarantee would be a lot longer if it was actually warmer. Another major problem I've noticed is that if you take off without connecting to satellites fully, and then it connects to the satellites when you're in manual mode, it will again freak out and then like stutter and try and throw you back into like sport mode. And for me, it was really annoying the one time as I biked all the way out to this cool frozen river and then was planning on zooming around the river, but I took off a little too soon and it connected to satellites and I happened to be close enough to a tree that it hit a branch and then broke the prop. Yeah, not so fun. I didn't even get to fly it after biking all the way there. Okay, so going back to that footage, I just rewatched it and noticed it may have not necessarily been exactly how I thought it was in my mind, as it looked like it was really the crash caused or the panic caused it to panic even more after the fact, which is kind of weird. So it wasn't a perfect example of what I was trying to say, but it does bring to light another issue, which is that if you're flying and you hit something and then it continues flying after that, it will then freak out. And I just recommend landing immediately because otherwise, yeah, sometimes it's hard to control. And like this one time, it was not good. So yeah, that's probably the bigger issue, but either way, that one was kind of weird. Finally, the other downside is the elements. Like I kind of touched upon, wind equals no bueno. DJI does a good job stabilizing the footage to the point you really can't tell that it was windy in this one, but it's definitely rough when I was flying it with the goggles, and any stronger than that, I really don't know if I could have gotten back, as it was pretty rough. Cold also affects it and it will get more jerky and become a little more unpredictable, especially during takeoff in sport mode before flipping to manual and then flipping back into sport mode for landing. But otherwise, the cold is doable, it's just not ideal. And that's not really a major downside for a lot of you, I would imagine, because yeah, the cold doesn't get quite as bad as whenever I've had issues, it's usually below zero. Okay, now some miscellaneous tips I've picked up upon since having the Neo. If you have the DJI controller, there is a brake button, which could be really useful if you're starting to learn, especially if you just go directly into the Neo with no simulator time. I didn't realize this existed until recently, and I definitely think it could have been useful, and maybe still can.
Literally nothing. And then we want to brake. Brake! Yep, it pops it in normal mode.
There's also the arm button, which is definitely a must if you lose your drone in the snow. Not sure how many people will have that exact scenario, but it's really nice to hear the beeping if you crash and don't know where it is. It's been a lifesaver for me. Simulators. Can't recommend them enough. I've now also gotten Uncrashed. I really like both simulators, but what Uncrashed showed me was that the rates are much higher than in DRL. I didn't even realize rates were a thing until then, and yeah, after figuring out they existed, I felt kind of stupid, but yeah, essentially they are the sensitivity of your drone. The default ones for the Neo, which I have still been using the default ones, are fairly low. I am curious though if changing the default rates of the Neo would lead to less freakout moments. If anyone knows better rates for the Neo, I'd love to know it and definitely try it out. Anyways, that's the Neo and my experience learning FPV. It's been amazing and I definitely learned a lot, and hopefully this video helps get you started if you haven't done so already. For anyone curious more about my flights, I'll have some flight videos of some highlights, and then I'll also probably compile a crash video if anyone's interested in that. I'm honestly just curious to see how many times I crashed. Yeah. Well, thanks for watching and see ya.
Okay, so I'm missing a prop.
Follow.